Hey, it's Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady and host of the 2024 Wealth Building Conference, which we started yesterday. So if you joined us for the conference, if you registered, we got off to a little bit of a rocky start yesterday. Last year, I hired somebody from the outside to help me with the tech for the conference, for the Wealth Building Conference. This year, my team is doing it. So, but they're doing a great job. We got right on top of it right away. We got the right links out, although we still had problems with the email that went out the first day. But that gave everybody more time to view the videos for that day, because what happens with this wealth building conference is each day we send out 2 or 3 interviews from experts, from wealth building experts. And so the goal was we were going to send it out at 9 a.m. in the morning, and then you have until 9 a.m. the next morning when the next day's interviews come out to watch them. So what happened was, since we didn't get it out right at 9 o'clock on the first day, it came out at 11 o'clock, and then we had some problems with the links that weren't working. So we got it out before 12 p.m. So what we did is we made it so that now that we're still sending them out 9 a.m. in the morning, but you have until 12 p.m. the next day to watch them, okay, before they go away, to make room for the next speaker interviews that come out. But if you miss anything, if you registered, now if you didn't register yet, you could still register for the Wealth Building Conference. We're going to be sending out interviews every day this week. So you could register at www.2024wealthbuildingconference.com. And you need to put the www in there to go to the page, okay? But if you miss any of the speakers, like even if you register now and you miss the first 2 days, because today's speakers, the links went out this morning. There's a welcome video from me that tells you who the speakers are that day, what the theme is that day, and then there's links to go to the speaker pages. And then when you go to that speaker page and watch their interview, there's a link to their freebies that they're giving away. So, but if you missed yesterday or today and you're registering now, and first of all, it's free to register, okay? And if you miss any of the interviews, you're going to be able to catch any of the ones that you missed over the weekend, because we'll give you 48 hours to have access to all of them over the weekend. And then they're going to go away unless you have VIP access. Now, it's $97 for VIP access, which gives you unlimited access to all of the recordings. But you also get some bonuses, some unannounced bonuses that are only for VIPs. We have an extra video with Chris Miles, who is our anti-financial planner, that we had on the first day, on the difference between a self-directed IRA and a 401k or a infinite banking policy. Those are the pros and cons of those, okay? And we also have, I also have something that I gave away. And thank you, Nicole. Nicole has put that link in there for you to go ahead and register if you haven't already. Okay, and again, it's free to register, but if you want lifetime access, you can get VIP access. And there is something else we gave away too to the people that got, oh yeah, my 7 steps special report, which is the 7 steps to building your profitable tax lien or tax deed portfolio. Now, we've gotten a lot of questions about tax lien investing. And one thing I do here on my Facebook page at this tax lien investing tips Facebook page is I answer your questions every Tuesday at 2 p.m. And so I got on a little bit early today, so I could tell you what's going on with the Wealth Building Conference. Really excited about the speakers that we have. The first couple days, the first day was all about attracting more money into your life. And I even had a feng shui expert for how to move your energy around and attract more money in your home, right? And then I had Chris Miles, our anti-financial planner, and then today was all about managing your money and saving your money. And I had Rennie Gabriel, who wrote the books Wealth on Any Income and Attitudes of the Wealthy, talk about philanthropy and attitudes of the wealthy. And these were the attitudes he used to go from broke to millionaire in 5 years. Okay. And then I had Denise Thomas, and I wish I knew her 20 years ago, because you know what? I am still paying on student loans. I'm still paying on my youngest son, who's now 29. Still, he's going to be 30 this year. Well, not until November of this year, but I'm still paying money on his student loan, and he's still paying his portion of the student loan. Okay, so I wish I knew her 20 years ago, because she talks about how to get your kids in college for free, how to get them paid to go to school. And then we had our bonus speaker, and I'm not going to tell you who our bonus speaker is. You can find out when you register for the Wealth Building Conference, and you'll find out this weekend, because that interview already went out today, but over the weekend you'll get to review them all. All right. And we have more speakers coming up. As a matter of fact, the next few days, tomorrow, Thursday, and then part of Friday, the last day, are, well, Friday you get me, you get to hear about tax lien investing, what it really is, why it's a good investment. But you also get to hear from a couple of other speakers that I'm not going to tell you about yet. But over the next 2 days, you get to hear from real estate investing experts, real estate investing trainers, on strategies that really work in today's market. As a matter of fact, one of our speakers tomorrow, the reason why I had to have him on again is because some of the millionaires that I have interviewed, they told me that their most profitable stream of income was his strategy. So you're going to want to tune in tomorrow to find out what that is. Okay. Well, tune in today so you get the email in the morning at 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay. All right. And if you're just joining us now, you'll want to say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. Bring your questions, and you can always watch the replay. It's going to be here as soon as we're done, and to get anything that you've missed that we've already talked about. And my assistant Nicole is here with me, and I know she has some questions for me, because we have a private Facebook group. It's free to join. You just have to answer some questions. And we've had a lot of people join us over the last few days with questions about investing in tax liens. So Nicole, if you want to give me some of those questions, I'll be happy to answer them now. And while you do that, I'm just going to take a sip of my seltzer water. Okay. All right. So, how do you find out about the liens on all the liens on a property? So, if you're buying a tax lien, I really don't do a title search for tax liens to find out about liens on a property. And the reason I don't is because I'm not buying the property. When you buy a tax lien, you're not buying the property, you're putting a lien on the property. You're putting a tax lien on the property that the owner has to pay, right? And every county has a different time period that they have to pay it. Every state has a different time period, different redemption period. But if the owner doesn't pay during that redemption period, then you can foreclose on the property. Now, that being said, 99% of liens across the country are going to redeem. So you're going to be bidding on so many liens at these lien sales, you don't know which ones you're going to get. So I do not do title searches. I do not worry about other liens on the property when I'm buying a lien. I only worry about that towards the end of the redemption period, when the redemption period's over or almost over, and I have to take more action, then I'm going to do a title search on the liens. And I'm not going to actually pay for a title search. I'm just going to search the title myself, And you do that by looking in the county records. You're going to search the owners of the property and see what liens are on them. Okay. But again, I don't do that for liens. Now, if I'm going to a deed sale, if I'm buying a deed, then I'm going to do a title search. I might even pay for a title search depending on how cheap I could get it for. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to do the search myself. I'm going to go to the county records and search the owner's name. And that's how I find out about other liens on the property. Okay. And then we had somebody ask about what are the basics? How do you find liens and how do you move on them? How do you get them? Well, here's the thing. I use a data service called Tax Sale Finders. It's only available to my members and my coaching clients, but there are other data services out there. You want to look for one that's going to tell you what liens are coming up all across the country. That's what I do for my clients. I find out what liens are coming up all across the country. Now, if you're starting in a specific state and you want to know what's going on in your state, depending on what state it is, you might have to call each county if you don't have a data service that tells you what's coming up, or each municipality, each taxing district. If you live in New England, any of those states, or in New Jersey, it's done on the municipal level, not on the county level. Most states it's done on the county level, but you need to know who to contact. Now, I have a state guide that tells you what happens in every state and pretty much who to contact. If you don't know who to contact, I would start with the county treasurer or county tax collector. In different states, it's somebody different. In some deed states, it could even be the sheriff. But I do have a state guide that tells you, who to contact. And if you just go to my website, taxlienlady.com, you could download my state guide. Also, if you're in the Wealth Building Conference, if you're registered for that, that is one of the free things that I will be giving away. Okay, so what other questions do we have? I'm going to take another sip of my seltzer water. While I wait for more questions, I know we had a lot of people join the Facebook group. By the way, guys, the Facebook group is called Tax Lien Investing Success. And if you want to join, you just have to answer some questions. We just want to make sure that you're going to agree to our terms. Basically, we don't want you to be there just to solicit people, but to find out about tax liens, and that you're interested in either tax liens or tax deeds. And also, if you have a question for us, you could put it in there. But if you go to facebook.com/groups/tax lien investing success, that's where you can join the group. Okay, another question that we got is, what are some of the most known things to avoid common pitfalls? The most known things to avoid common pitfalls. That's a whole training by itself. I do a whole training on due diligence in my Advanced Tax Lien Investing Secrets program, which, by the way, is going on now. And this is the last time that I'm going to do it with live calls from me with coaching. Right now, we just started the Advanced Tax Lien Investing Secrets training. Our first live coaching call for the training is tomorrow night. So if you're interested in joining the Atlas training, it's officially closed right now, but I do have a couple of spots available. So if you reach out to me, and ask me, tell me that you're interested in the Atlas training, just send an email to info@taxlienlady.com and let me know that you want to do this training with me. It's the last time I'll do it. It comes with 2 months of coaching. You must have money to invest, and you must be ready to invest. Our coaching calls are on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. and they go for at least an hour and a half. Okay. Hey, Gregory. Got some new liens in Gloucester, New Jersey, which you are probably familiar with. Yes, I am. My first time in New Jersey, I got 3. Very good. They said I need to register them with the county. Yes, you do. But I think I can do it online. They want a cover sheet on each one. Yes, they do want a cover sheet on each one. I am familiar with the process. You can either mail them in. Some counties do let you do it online. I have the fund that I invest for, they take care of that side of it. They've done them online. I've only done them through the mail. You could go to the county clerk's website and download the index page. And this is something that I show my clients how to fill out because it's not evident, right? So if you're not in a training with me and you don't have coaching with me, what I would do is call the county clerk and ask how to do it. Now, I will tell you, sometimes they give you the wrong information because I had one of my clients do this and they gave him the wrong information and I had to correct him. And I had another client do this. She got the wrong information and she had to go through this whole thing again. It was a pain in the butt, okay? So make sure you get somebody in the county clerk's office who knows what they're doing and has done this, okay, to make sure you fill it out right. You also have to send in the fee. There is a fee with it. Now, you will get this money back when the lien redeems, but you also have to send an affidavit to the tax collector. So this is a process, and again, this is something I go through with my clients and show them how to do it correctly. But Gregory, you could figure it out. Talk to the tax collector or talk to the county clerk. It has to be registered with the county clerk, but you're going to have to send an affidavit that you did it to the tax collector. Some tax collectors are going to require that you send them a copy of the recorded lien after you get it back from the clerk. You have to send the original in to be recorded if you do it through the mail. All right, so make a copy of it before you send it in, and you send it in along with the index page for each one, gets its own index page. And along with the proper payment, you're going to have to call the clerk's office and find out what that is. All right, because it's different in every county. And it's normally around $50, and some counties is a little more. Okay. And then when you get that back, some tax collectors are going to require that you send them a copy of the recorded lien. And they'll know it was recorded because it will have that index page attached to it, and it will have the county book and county page number on it as well. Okay. Some will require that, some won't. And I forget if Gloucester does or not. Okay. And if you're scared of mailing the originals, I usually mail them either priority mail or certified, whichever is cheaper. I used to do them all priority, but priority has gone up. So now it's cheaper just to do it certified. I don't do the little green return receipt anymore because if you do it certified, you get tracking. Okay. And you can do it online, and then you don't have to send the original in. But I haven't had personal experience doing it online. When I do it for the fund, somebody else does that, so I don't have to do that part of it. My job is to go out there and buy the liens. All right. Nicole, what other questions did we get ahead of time? And you're welcome, Gregory. Now, Gregory, did you register for the 2024 Wealth Building Conference? Okay, let's see what other questions we got. How do you find out all the liens on a property? And this is kind of the same question that we got before, Nicole, on how do you find the liens, other liens on a property. So I already answered that one. And if somebody wants to know the answer to that question, just watch the replay of this call when we're done. Okay. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, but you're a member. Okay, great. Great. By the way, the member coaching call is coming up next week, next Wednesday. Members get a coaching call with me one day a month. And we're also bringing back the wealth building webinars. Our next one is going to be February 15th with one of our speakers, with one of our bonus speakers. I think that was supposed to be after researching and deciding which one to bid on, how on online bidding, how to compete against the lowest sheet bidding hedge fund who bid at 1%. Okay. I have a feeling this applies to Arizona because with the states that bid down the interest rate in New Jersey, the hedge funds are actually going to bid premium. They're going to bid it down to 0 and bid premium. In Florida, they're going to bid it down to 0.25%. But in Arizona, there's no reason to bid it down that low. Even 1% is too low for Arizona. I would not bid down that low. And yes, there are hedge funds that bid down that low. So how do you compete with that? Easy. It's easy. You don't bid on what they're bidding on. You find out what they're after and you go after something else, right? That's what I teach my clients to do, right? You're not going to go after the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that everybody else wants. I like to go after vacant land. I like to go in rural areas, not in the cities. I like farm. And another thing that you might be able to get is commercial property. Okay, so those are the things that I look for. Okay, Gregory has another question. If I bid 0% this time around the New Jersey lien auction, how do bidders start getting the higher interest return? Will they tell me if there are more liens available? No, you have to ask. Are you talking about subsequent taxes, Gregory? Are you talking about paying the subsequent taxes? If you bid with 0 premium. You don't bid with 0 premium. You bid 0%, okay? I mean, in the online bidding platform, you can bid 0 premium, but you're really bidding 0% interest. So the interest is first bid down to 0 and then premium is bid. If you don't bid premium, right, and you want to pay the subsequent taxes, even if you bid down to 0, because you will get, first of all, there's a penalty that you'll get on the certificate amount. It's a 2 to 6% penalty. So even if you bid down to 0, as long as the lien is over $200, you're going to make at least 2% on the certificate amount. All right. But you make your real money on the subsequent taxes that you pay in New Jersey. Okay, which is 8% until the property owner is $1,500 delinquent. So any lien over $1,500, you're automatically going to get 18% on all the subsequent taxes you bid. Okay. So you, some tax collectors will let you know that it's due, but you have to ask about the subsequent taxes. They're not going to tell you most of the time. You have to ask. Now, subsequent taxes are paid the 10th of the month that the taxes are due. In New Jersey, taxes are paid quarterly. They're paid in February, May, May, August, and November. Okay. On the 10th of those months, if the owner doesn't pay them, The owner has the first right to pay them. The property owner has to pay them on time. They're due the first of the month on those months, right? On the 10th, they're considered delinquent. So on the 10th of the month, you could pay them, the 10th of the month that they're due. But you have to ask the tax collector what they are. And like when you did your recording, you have to send an affidavit in with your payment to the tax collector. Again, this is all stuff I go over in the Atlas training. If you're interested in the Atlas training, send an email to info@taxlienlady.com. This is the last time I'm going to do it because my responsibilities are getting more for the fund that I invest for. So I'm not taking on any new coaching clients, and this is the last time I'm going to do the Atlas training, the Advanced Tax Lien Investing Secrets training. If you're interested, get in now. Okay. Any more questions? Let's see. Okay, so Sarah K asks, what is the best way to do due diligence research to make sure liens aren't attached to a property you want to bid on? And again, yeah, this is similar to what I've already answered, Nicole. And it doesn't matter if there's any liens on a property you want to bid on, okay? Only government liens are going to, and of course it depends on what kind of sale you're going to. So if you're going to a deed sale, only government liens are going to survive, and you are going to want to do some kind of search on the liens. You are going to want to find out what liens are on the property. If you're going to a lien sale, on the other hand, you're not owning the property, you're just putting a lien on the property. There might be other liens on the property, but I don't worry about that because I'm going to bid on so many properties. For the fund is going to bid on so many properties. We don't know which ones we're going to get. We're going to be able to get. We concern ourselves with that when it comes time to foreclose because 99% of liens are going to foreclose. What we do our due diligence on is making sure the properties are valuable, right? We want to make sure it's going to redeem. If the property is valuable, it's going to redeem. All right, and I have a whole due diligence checklist that I use with my clients. We have a whole module on doing due diligence in the Atlas program. Okay. Last call for questions. And if you just joined us, say hello, let me know where you're coming in from, and let me know if you're registered for the 2024 Wealth Building Conference. If you've got a chance to listen to the speakers that we've had so far, there's been 5 yesterday and today. Yesterday there were 2, today there were 3. All right, and we've got another question here. When a property goes to a sheriff sale because of an HOA lien, do you have to repay on the rest of the mortgage? It's hard for me to answer that question without knowing what state it is. In some states, you do have to be concerned about HOA liens because they won't go away. So in a state like Georgia, if you foreclose on a property in Georgia and it has HOA liens on it, you're still going to have to pay those liens. In other states, they're going to go away if you foreclose. Okay. But if it goes to a sheriff sale because of an HOA lien, do you have to repay the rest of the mortgage? I don't know. That's not my cup of tea. My cup of tea are tax liens, not HOA liens. And sheriff sales are different than tax sales. So that's really not a question that I can answer. Unless it has to do with a tax deed property or tax lien property. then I can answer that question, but it doesn't, I can't tell from the way that question is worded. It looks to me like it's a sheriff sale foreclosure, which is different than a tax foreclosure. An HOA foreclosure is different than tax foreclosure. I will tell you one thing, you'll still have to pay any tax liens on it if it's an HOA foreclosure and the taxes are not paid. If it does go to a tax sale and there's a mortgage on it, in most states, the mortgage is going to go away. In Pennsylvania, it depends on what sale you buy it at. And there are some states where it doesn't go away, like New Mexico, it doesn't go away. But most states, it's going to go away. But I don't know about a HOA foreclosure. That is not my cup of tea. And last call for any questions. Last call before we close this episode of Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. I'll come back to you next week at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, next Tuesday. Last call as I take another sip of my seltzer water. Okay, I think we're good, Nicole. I think I've answered all the questions that were about tax liens and tax deeds and tax lien foreclosures. Okay. All right, so I will see you guys next week. And thank you very much for your support, Nicole. And hey, if you haven't signed up yet, sign up for the Wealth Building Conference. You'll have the weekend to watch any of the interviews you missed. It's free to sign up for the conference. And if you want lifetime access, you can always get the VIP. That's still available as well. But to sign up free, just go to www.2024wealthbuildingconference.com. And Nicole has already put that link in there for you. And have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, guys.